Hello, everyone. It's day 2 of the Launch and Sell Challenge. I'm super pumped. Of course, because this challenge is meant to be live and interactive, we're going to have to wait a second or a minute for people to get on. Ooh, I look really weird on my screen. Okay, it's better. Facebook has been kind of weird with the live video. I feel like it's been kind of slow. Like, when I see myself, but then it seems like when it's actually going for you guys or when I watch the replay or, just look at it for a second, it seems to be okay. But it's really weird. Every time I live stream from my desktop, it just seems like when I look at myself, it just seems slow. Hey, Rachel. Okay, cool. People are hopping on. If you're on the replay, say hi. If you're jumping on live, say hi. That way we know who's here. Okay, cool. All's well. Perfect. So it looks good. Cool. And we have puppies in the background hanging out with me. Cool. Okay. Today we're talking about reverse engineering your epic and inspired launch. So really excited to share that with you guys. I have lots of strategies. So basically, just to give you guys a heads up of what we're going to be going over. We're going to go through just a little bit of an introduction of the challenge, a reminder about yesterday. I'll put this link in if you guys want to sign up and get the time for the challenge for tomorrow, which might actually need to be updated. And then we'll talk about your homework. Then we're going to talk about your 10 steps to mapping out and reverse engineering a fail-proof launch, right? And then we're going to share my typical launch plan. And of course, because it's inspired, I'm not always following this exactly, but I'm just going to share with you some of like my tips and things that I almost always use because I just find that they work really, really well. So this is like my go-to launch strategies. But before we do that, I do want to remind you guys about yesterday because I want you guys to realize that it's up to you what you do. There's no wrong answer, and it has to feel good to you for it to work, right? If you guys watched yesterday, that should be ingrained in your head. If you didn't, go watch yesterday so it's ingrained in your head. All right, Jax, you can't scratch that because it's annoying. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna take my dog's harness off, and then the big dog, Tucker, because I feel bad that I left it on him. Okay, I'm sorry I did that to you. Okay, there you go. You're happier? Okay, and then we'll see if the puppy can behave. Who's here? Who else wants to say hi? That should always be like my, let's kind of pass some time as people get on. Let's play with the dogs. Okay, guys, so let's get started. You're here. You know what this challenge is. If you're just jumping on randomly, this is the Launch and Sell Challenge. If you are just jumping on randomly and you're kind of lost on what's going on, then you have not signed up for the challenge and you do not know what it's all about. So if you need to sign up still, because I'll be sending you guys replay access to all of this. They'll come down on Friday, probably on Friday. And I'll also be sending out the times and some reminder emails and recap emails and reminding you of your homework and all of that. So that's the link to sign up if you're not signed up. Today's day 2. We'll be in here one more day tomorrow. Yesterday, what we talked about was basically what an inspired launch is and why you can have whatever you want and you can hit any goal you want and everything is possible. But we talked about some really cool stuff, like things that people really do wrong typically when planning their income goals, why maybe your launches haven't been working. We talked about the myths of launching and selling that a lot of people are telling themselves or learning from others, but really they're lies and myths that we're telling ourselves that we're kind of just making up. And what they actually really break down to are excuses and things like that that we're using that are sabotaging us. So even though this sounds like a really simple concept, if you did not watch day 1, please go watch it. It was really good. I got a lot of good feedback. And day 1 was content that I had really never talked about. I never really put it out there that way, but it's so important. And there's a reason that this challenge is structured the way it is, and day 1 is really necessary. So please go watch it. It's just in the group. You can, if you just scroll, you'll find it. It's not too far down in the feed. I've been bumping it up as I can just so it's easy for you guys to find. But yeah, it was really fun. Today's going to be not even better, but just as amazing, because we're talking about actually planning the launch. So yesterday's homework, let me just remind you, because if you don't have this done, you're going to be a little behind, but it's okay. But just know, yesterday's homework for everybody was to look at their schedules, look at how their days are feeling lately, and create space for inspiration in their business. Number 2 homework was reevaluating your income goals, looking how you're setting those goals. And number 3 was deciding what you want to sell in your next launch so we can talk about it today, right? I love that you guys have like a little view. Like I feel like I should give you guys more room over here to be distracted by the puppy and the dog that are fighting and playing. Okay, you guys ready? Are you guys with me? Did everyone watch day 1? Let me know as well, like if you're here and you watched day 1 and you enjoyed it, let me know. Or if you had any kind of ahas, if there was a piece of it that you liked the most. I did get some feedback from one woman who was like, oh my gosh, I realized why I'm not hitting my income goals. I'm setting them totally wrong. Like what you said totally made sense. And so that was really cool because I am, like I said, everything I talked about yesterday, I am so guilty of. And like yesterday was not like, here's my expertise, let me teach it to you. It was like, here's the stuff that I go through too. And the reasons that I don't hit every single one of my goals, but also the things that when I do hit my goals or when I do really huge things, it's because I'm actually focusing it on things this way, right? Rachel, you're always interesting to watch because you don't try to be perfect, aka stopping to mess with your dogs or to tell a funny story. It makes you so relatable and easy to watch. I'm glad that it's not distracting because I'm like, should I go kick them out really quick? But they're gonna calm down in a second, you know? They're just whatever. Amanda, I haven't watched day 1 yet. I wasn't around. Amanda, get off of here. No, I'm just kidding. You're fine. Definitely watch it though. It was really good. Okay, so 10 steps. I'm going to put these in the comments once we go. Actually, I'll put them in the comments. I don't know. I'll put them in the comments when I feel like it, but I will put these in the comments so you have them. And I'll try to say them really crystal clear with a number so you can take notes, but just know they will end up in the comments. So be present, listen, take it all in. This is like what I've come up with for like 10 steps of planning / reverse engineering your launch. This stuff is actually really, really simple because it's just looking at like, what do I want, mapping it out, and then the last couple are really cool because they're going to actually help you plan your launch. And then, like I said, we'll move into what my launches look like, things I found work really well for me so that you can just like listen and be like, oh, I like that, I don't like that. Maybe I'll try that a little bit different. Maybe I'll do it exactly how she does it, whatever you want. Okay. First things first, kind of like what we talked about yesterday, but a little different. You have to actually want your goal. So the first step, this is kind of 2 in 1, right? Because 1 and 2 are pretty similar. The first step is to think about the goal that you actually want to achieve, okay? Remember, 10K a month is awesome, but what I've realized is very few people actually want a $10,000 month, right? It's actually, you might want an $11,500 month. You might want a $9,800 month. You might want whatever you want. It doesn't matter. But you have to actually think about what you want. Don't even think about what Taylor's doing or what Taylor's clients are doing or what other people on the live stream are doing or anything like that. You have to decide what you want exactly. And it's not keeping up with, I want to say industry standards, but that's not even the right word. Like, keeping up with the Kardashians. I don't know. Keeping up with what other people are doing and talking about. Like 10K months is such a one that we hear all the time, but there's so many others too. You know, even for me this year, it's been like chasing the 6-figure launch, even though I would like a 6-figure launch, but I realized that sometimes the way I was thinking about it was more like I want a 6-figure launch just so I could say I had a 6-figure launch. Plus a 6-figure launch would be really cool because then I'd have, you know, 100 grand or whatever in the bank or coming in or whatever, right? Like, that's not a good enough reason. You need something that actually pushes you to do it. And like we talked about yesterday, I won't go too deep into this because yesterday we did like 10, 15 minutes on just this alone. But the where you want your money to go, we've heard it a million times from all the people that work on mindset and stuff. You need a place for your money, but at the same time, if that's not actually where you want to put money, like debt's awesome to pay off. Some people are so driven by their, this sounds weird, so driven by their debt, but they're so driven to pay off their debt. And it actually is something that really pushes them forward. Me and actually a few of my clients who always say they want to pay off their debt, it never gets done. Like I said yesterday, me with student loans, it's like student loans aren't really that big of a deal to me, but I hear all these people paying off debt, so it sounds cool, and so I want to do it, but I actually don't, because when I actually think about putting $10,000 of this month's income to a student loan payment, I'm like, that doesn't actually make me like shed a tear, jump up and down, freak out, celebrate. Like that is actually not that exciting. There's other places I'd want to put that, or most of the time I'm not making that extra $10,000 because I don't actually want to put it there, right? I have 6 figures of student loan debt. For some people, it's a big motivator. For some people, it's not, right? Just like maybe you're saying, oh, I used to do this too. I want to travel the world. I do want to travel. I do actually know how much I want to travel now, but I used to just be like, oh, look at all these digital nomads. I want to do that. It was like, actually, no, I don't. You know what I mean? I just want to live a little bit differently, but there's still money to be made, but you want to focus on the right things. So that's number 1. Number 2, yesterday you should have created a launch goal. If you haven't, you can go back to this later, but when you do have that goal, I want you to take another second of double checking your reason for the goal. And when I wrote on our notes, you guys know I'll copy and paste my notes right in so you can see what I actually wrote. But I wrote, call yourself the F out, okay? So for me, I'm looking at my goals every day and I'm asking myself this, why do I want to hit this goal? I just did it today or yesterday, and I asked myself, why do I want to hit this goal? Why am I doubting that I can hit this goal? Why does this goal feel hard or whatever, right? So much clarity will come from that. So calling yourself out on both of those, why is it your goal? If anything comes up about, well, I really want to have a 10K month, or I really need to make all this money, or it's going to be my rule for my clients is if you're doing it because it's the easiest way to do it or it's the most profitable way to do it, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. That does not mean that it can't be easy and profitable, but for some reason, our minds like to screw us over and make us think that something's going to be easy and super profitable, and then for whatever reason, because it's not actually what we want, that's the reason, it doesn't work, right? So if your mind goes there, I really encourage you to relook at your goal. Okay, this is really important. It's the only reason I'd spend time on it. So just look at your goal. Just really ask yourself, and don't BS yourself. Stop BSing yourself. Just tell yourself the real reason you have the goal, and then look at it. Here's what I mean. Can I tell you guys what I mean for a second? It's like I think I mentioned this yesterday a little bit too, but I told myself in the beginning of this year I wanted to do a lot less one-on-one. I wanted to focus on courses and passive income. Same goal I still have. Why? Because I chickened out, right? I chickened out because for me, one-on-one is easy and profitable. And I love my clients, right? Like I love what I do, and I hope they never take this the wrong way, but they wouldn't. But you know what I mean? It's like it's not that I don't want to coach one-on-one and that I don't like it. It's that I want passive income for a different reason. Not because it's going to make more money or it's going to be easier, because my mind tells me that that's not the truth, even though it could be. But like it fits what lifestyle I want. It fits what I want my calendar to look like every week. It fits just what I want my business to feel like. And it fits my desire to teach more people. And it fits my desire to have less of the same conversations over and over, right? Like, yeah, showing up on live stream is really authentic and vulnerable and blah, 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 blah. But I think there's something to be said about having automated content and content that's teaching these really key, epic things that you know, and automating them and putting them out there so you don't have to have the same conversation 50 times, right? Or 50,000 times. But I chickened out from that goal. I had that goal in January. It's the whole reason I launched Six Figure Ambition the first time. And then I chickened out because for me, one-on-one feels easier and more profitable. For so many people, not the case. Total opposite. It's just funny how our minds do that to us, right? So I just wanted to say that again because that's what I mean. I won't want anyone to be confused. And if you guys have questions along the way, you know, ask. I'm here. And I don't mind getting distracted. So number 3, just a reminder, okay? Double check again. You guys are probably like, Taylor, these notes suck, and you're saying the same thing, but these are actually different. Number 1, have your goal. Number 2, double check why it's your goal. Number 3, just run it past this. And you need to do this at the end too. It's aligned all the way around. The launch feels fun. The program feels fun. The time commitment feels fun. The lifestyle that it's creating feels fun, exciting, and it's okay to think about the money. So the income it's going to create for you, the money that it's going to make is exciting too, right? All of that fits in together. It's okay if it feels hard or scary or like it might not happen or like it's unrealistic. That's all right. We've got that. That's fine. We don't even have to worry about that, right? Okay, that's our goal. That's talking about the goal. And you want to go back to number 3 later on because you want to double check like your launch plan and things like that. But that's just the money, right? Number 4, finalize the offer. Okay, so what do you guys want to sell for your next launch? Do you want to have a group program? Do you want to make passive income? Do you want to fill your one-on-one program? Do you want to have a boot camp, a mastermind, a membership site? What do you want for this launch? Any type of offer. Go back to number 3 and make sure that it fits the lifestyle you're trying to create. It feels good with the time commitment, and that we'll get to the rest of that. But just pick the offer that feels good, that does not feel easier, that does not feel, well, okay, it could, but the reason cannot be that it feels easier or that it feels more profitable, right? It's just, I really want to have a mastermind because I believe in masterminds. I really want to have a one-on-one program because I believe in the one-on-one program, or because I just want to have one-on-one clients because that sounds fun to me, because I could have 8 one-on-one clients and make a great amount of income and my calendar won't overwhelm me. Whereas for me, 8 one-on-one clients, yes, it makes a great amount of income, but for some reason, it just never feels like 100% what I want my life and day-to-day to look like, right? That's just me. For me, what am I launching right now? Well, I guess this mastermind site, and that feels good because it's a way for me to do something different, to stand out, to over-deliver to people like majorly in a way that's really, really affordable, that still lets me scale my income. And it also lets me just kind of show up as I want and just do trainings, and it just feels good, right? That's why I created it. And I'm still tweaking this offer all the time because I knew that that's what I wanted it to be, and then the first way I did it didn't quite feel like it, and I changed it a little bit. I tweaked it again. It's totally fine. As you go, you can tweak programs, right? As you learn. Making sense? Let me know if it's making sense or if it's just exciting. Either way is totally fine. The 4th thing is we're getting more into the strategies now. 4th thing, let's read this. Exactly. The motivator behind, this is Amanda, the motivator behind your goals will be the reason they can be achieved. If the reasons are not strong enough, it will be harder to make it happen. Yep, very, very true. And she said automation for the win. Okay. You have your offer. For me, I was just doing this today. I have my offer, Mastermind, Unleash Mastermind. Okay? I changed the pricing this week. I already feel better. Then I realized I'm going to change the pricing again. Not this week, so I already committed to something, and it's okay. But I'm going to change the price again because I feel like it's $600 for 6 months right now, right? You used to be able to pay $200 a month if you wanted. You save 50% by doing 6 months. Problem with $200 a month was people were canceling left and right. This makes the program sound bad, but I swear it's amazing. But let's just be honest. People were canceling because I was positioning it as a membership site, which is really far from what it is. And also, people are just not committed to that. Whereas I know what I want this program to be, and what it already is if you commit and you show up, is like unlimited access to me, weekly trainings on everything in my brain, access to pick a multiple 6-figure earner's brain every day as you please, monthly coaching calls, a site full of trainings, opportunities to get tons of bonuses from me, opportunities to be pointed in the direction of what you actually need to do. All you have to do is ask. And I just realized that, you know what's actually going to make this program better? And it has nothing to do with making it more profitable, actually, to be honest, is if people pay more money for it. Because it's not a membership site. It's not. But I just called it that because I wanted it to kind of work like one. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, it's not a membership site. And it's actually going to be pretty much the only way to get that kind of support from me with where my goals are at and where I'm going. So it needs to be at least $500 a month, right? Which we'll talk about later, but this is how it works in my head. Like, this is me talking out to you guys what I just did before this call, right? Pricing is a very strategic thing with very little strategy behind it. It just has to make sense to you, and it just has to feel good to you. And sometimes it takes living and learning a little bit, right? Like when I first opened Unleash Mastermind, it was $100 a month. And it included different things. It didn't include the group coaching call, and obviously had a lot less people in it, right? But it didn't feel right after I did it. And I increased it to 200 and it felt better. And then it was time to, it's okay if it evolves. But now that you have your offer, I want you to think about the price, and I just want you to trust your gut here. Let's do this. Double check. I want to write this out for you guys so you don't forget this. Key for your goal, never have a goal because it feels like the easy or profitable option, okay? For your pricing, the key is to never choose your pricing based off of what you think they will pay, okay? It has to be what feels good. I'm just writing this because I'm going to give this to you, so I swear I'm not just like, let me type these notes out. I'm going to give them to you, and I want you to remember this. It has to be what feels good and feels like an equal exchange, okay? Here's what I mean. When I was thinking about this program, like Amanda just said, it sounds like more like a group coaching platform. It is, and it's going to be the coolest one out there. It already is, and once I actually position it like that, people are like, oh my God, that's what I meant. I'm in Taylor's group coaching. It's epic, but it took even me a while to figure out how epic it is. You know what I mean? And it took me a while to figure it out. It's okay if your program's always evolving. It's okay if you're a hot mess. It's okay if you're changing your mind. That's okay. We talked about that yesterday. But when things are aligned, it will work better, right? It will happen quicker. I don't know. But the other thing is that the one reason I'm changing the price is it's going to be an equal exchange. Your commitment is going to match my commitment. I am highly committed to the Unleashed Mastermind. I am highly committed to showing up every day, Monday through Friday, and checking in on you guys. I'm highly committed to showing up for the trainings. People thought that's my dog. People thought I deleted the training for tomorrow, but I was like, oh no, that was just an accident. We're still on. And they're like, but it's supposed to be the same time as the challenge tomorrow. And I'm like, yep, we're changing the time of the challenge. You guys are good. Like, that's my priority. If I screw something up, I'm going to show up for Unleashed Mastermind. They're my people, right? Like, you guys are my people too, but commitment, right? So I think that the equal exchange thing, I hear a lot of people say it like that, and for me, it never clicked. But it's really, you want their commitment to match your commitment, right? That's what I mean. Number 6. This is when you just want to figure out really quickly. Get your iPhone out and you open the calendar. Okay? I mean the calculator. Not the calendar. You open the calculator. This is my favorite app. Okay? It's actually literally on the home screen. And not in a folder because I use this so much. So what I do is I say, in July, I want to make at least $10,000 from this, because I want that $10,000 to go here, here, and here. And if I make $10,000 before my cruise, I'm going to feel like a freaking badass and so taken care of, and I'll be able to surprise everybody with this extra thing that I want to do with them, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that feels really good. I want to sell Unleashed Mastermind for $600 for 6 months, which means I need 17 sales, 16.6, round up, right? 17 sales. Boxer. Boxer's going at the top. This is easy. It's just an easy step. You just want to know, okay, for this launch, I need this many people, right? Number 6. Number 7, when do you want to hit the goal by? Me, I want to hit the goal by the time I go on my cruise / the day before, because come on, right? So by Friday. Then you create your launch calendar. I'm going to tell you my go-to launch calendar. It's a little bit actually different than what I'm using this time, just because I'm trying out a challenge and I don't really do challenges much. But you want to create your launch calendar. So you want to pick, when do doors open? When do doors close? Is there, let me write this in, is there early bird pricing? Are there bonuses, right? Are there whatever? I think those 2 are the main things. We're going to go into that a little bit more, I think. Like, you guys will be able to figure out this once I share mine. But, I mean, your launch can be 1 week. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 3 weeks. It could be 10 days. It could be 3 days. It doesn't matter. You just want to pick, when do you want that goal to happen by? And then you can see all the dates you have on the calendar before that, and you pick out your launch calendar. I can't wait to share what I have to share with you in a minute, because it's going to just, I have a lot to say about this. Next thing I want you to think about, though, we're going to put you on edge here. We'll go back to number 8. But number 9, what launch strategies feel good to you? Let me tell you some. You could do a challenge. You could do a webinar. You could do an email funnel. You could do posts and emails. You could just do live streaming. You could offer calls, discovery, let's just say sales calls. You could offer sales calls. You could ask people to promote for you. You could do affiliates if you really want. I have clients who do that. You could do, tell me if you guys have any other launch strategies. I'm just trying to think here to help everybody out. You could do what I call master classes, which is basically where you basically promote a live stream just as you would a webinar, but it's just a live stream in your Facebook group, which is really cool. You could do a low-end product with an upsell. So I could sell you guys, for example, a $27, a $47, a whatever $7 product where we do something like this, a training together, and then I could upsell you guys and just say like, hey, if you really like this, I want to get you into this. So many people say, where do I find the people that are willing to invest? This is why I have tripwires, right? This is why I have passive products. This is why you'll see me doing paid trainings, really low-cost masterminds or courses or whatever, because the people that are willing to invest, and I don't care what you say, but the people that are willing to invest $5 or $10 or $1,000 or whatever, $1,000, a lot of them are going to invest in something smaller with you, or usually they will invest some time with you for free. Like they will come to your challenges. They will, it's the commitment thing, right? I'm just saying this stuff works. I've had people say, someone that's going to pay $10,000 is not going to waste their time on a $100 product. Yes, they will. I go back and I track almost every one of my one-on-one clients and see the journey they took to actually become a client. That's another thing you should start doing. I'm just saying, but that's a bonus tip. But my point here with number 9 is what strategies feel good to you? I get like this on a call. Like I'm like, oh, when my clients are like, oh, I really want to launch this. I'm just not in the mood to do webinars, but I know I have to. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't have to do webinar. And they're like, I don't. But I just figured, like, if I really want to get 20 people in this program, like, I should do a webinar. So now you can see the process. It just went from I know I need to, I know I should. And then I'm like, no, there's people that have successful launches all the time without webinars. I've even done it. You can do that. It's totally fine. I'm not worried. And they're like, oh, awesome. I don't have to do webinars. I'm so excited because I really wanted to do this thing. And it's like, okay. It's so funny how our minds do that, right? It's like, I know I have to do a challenge. And it's like, no. Someone a long time ago just made up this whole challenge thing, and then everybody jumped on the bandwagon, and now these poor people, including you, are telling yourself that you feel like you don't even feel like, you're saying that you actually need to do a challenge to hit your launch goal. That is the number one thing that I think, I'm sorry that I say number one thing a lot. That is a huge thing, though, that that sabotages us. It's just like hiring a coach. I am no way saying that you need a coach to be successful. I don't actually think that, right? I think I did need a coach to get where I am now. I actually do, but I don't know about you. You're different than me. But I just want to use this as an example. It kills me inside when someone says, I know I need your help to get to where I want to go, but I can't right now. It kills me because I'm like, actually, that would be so awesome if we could work together, but there's actually a chance that you don't actually need me. But now that you're saying you do, your mind's like, oh, you need Taylor to grow your business, but you're not going to hire her, so you're not going to grow your business, even though you're going to keep trying. It's like, stop saying that. Stop saying that about coaches. Stop saying that about webinars. Stop saying that about anything. You don't need affiliates. You don't need webinars. You don't need a Facebook group. You don't need an email list. You don't need any of that. You don't need a coach. I do think some of us do need coaches, and you know if you do. For me, I think when I hired my coach, I didn't think that I needed her. Actually, I definitely didn't think that I needed her. But now looking back, I'm like, wow, I needed that first coach, and I needed the coaches that came along the way. Different story, though. But same with the strategy stuff. Now, I know I have no clue what's going on. I know I just rattled off all these strategies that you don't need. And it's true. You do need some strategies, though, let's be honest. I mean, like I said, I'm not the expert in manifesting and woo-woo-ness, but I don't think, after I choke, I don't think that you can just sit here with your eyes closed and do nothing ever and have a $10,000 launch, right? I don't know, maybe $10,000 will appear in your mailbox with a check or something, but like you do need to take some action if you would like to make money in your business through a launch, right? Through a program. You do need to get it out there. So I do suggest choosing 1 or 2 or 3 strategies. For me, what I do, my big selling points are I do posts, mostly in the Facebook group. I copy and paste those in Instagram and my Facebook page. So I do posts, I do emails, I do email marketing, I do live streams. You guys, they're gonna get in a fight. It's so funny, these dogs. If you guys are here late, my dogs are in the office with me and they're like, Jax is, I think, 16 weeks old now. Tucker's 3. And so Jax like will run up and like bite Tucker on the butt or on the thigh or on the tail, and he's like, "Hurr," wants to like attack him. Yeah. Okay, so I do posts, I do email marketing, I do live streaming, which I do in the Facebook group pretty much primarily, sometimes on the business page. If you want to know why, I do it in my group because I've already built an audience here, and I love you guys. I love you more than the people who like my page, and don't tell them I said that. A lot of you guys are the same ones, so it's okay. So I guess I love you guys equally because you're the same person. And I do webinars. I like webinars. It's kind of funny, I'm doing a challenge because I'm like, you know what, I want to test out this idea I have for a challenge, and I think it's going to work better in a challenge than a webinar, so I'm going to try it. But normally challenges aren't really my thing. I don't know. I've only done a couple. I don't love them, whatever, that much. This one's been really fun, but we'll see. But webinars are more my thing, right? And one thing I've also learned is that sales calls are not my thing. I've mastered a way to do it where when I do sales calls for certain programs that I feel like I need to, which is just a lie I'm telling myself, they go pretty well, but I'm not going to do a sales call for Unleash Mastermind, where some people might. Some coaches teach to do sales calls. If you're like, some people are so awesome. They're like, I love when I get clients like this. They're like, if I can get them on the phone, I can sell them. And they're so serious, and they're right. Me, I'm like, now I kind of feel like that, but at the beginning I was like, actually, no. Now if I get them on the phone, I can sell them because I have this really rough process to getting on the phone with me. But if I just get anyone on the phone, I'm like, I don't even understand how people do that, right? Like I get the strategy, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me because I don't like it, right? But some people are like, if I can get people on the phone, even if I can just have a conversation, if I'm getting someone on the phone to have a personal conversation, I can sell them. They're good at, so that's fine. If that works for you, maybe sales calls, even for something that's $500 is worth your time, right? Point is, number 9 is choose some launch strategies that feel good to you, or that feel like, I haven't done a webinar before, but it would feel really badass and fun to do one. Do not choose the webinar if you're like, oh my God, Amy Porterfield says webinars are awesome, but to me, they're just so draining, or they just feel terrifying, or I really don't want to do it, or whatever. Like, it's okay. Like, Amy Porterfield is right. Webinars are amazing, and they work really well for her and thousands of people, but there's thousands of people that they don't work for, or people that don't like them, and it's okay, and they can be really successful too, right? Amanda, I wouldn't even know what to do if I had someone on the phone. Right, and that's okay. You don't have to. Hey, Kiana, by the way, I'm so happy that you're here. It's really good to see you. A lot of these big coaches tell you that you need insert thing to be successful. Yeah, I do not believe in that. I mean, I think the things that you need to have a successful business are some way to keep your mind in check, because let's face it, mindset is a thing. If you totally can sabotage yourself. And then I think you need some strategies to use. And there's probably people that might not even think you need both of those, and that's okay. It probably works for them because that's what they think. Amanda, there's a difference between I need it and it would help ease the process. Oh, so true. Katie, everyone needs strategy. The tactics you choose to implement can be the ones you feel most comfortable with. Exactly. Megan asks, what do you do instead of sales calls when you did one-on-one coaching? I did sales calls, and I could do a training eventually on that process, but I do not get on the phone with people unless they 100% have looked at my program, know the price point, and are ready to get started immediately. But in the beginning, I didn't do it like that. I did free calls, and then I did free calls, and I did a lot of content, and I offered discovery calls, and it was harder to get people on the phone, and not as many people wanted to work with me. But And I just realized for me, getting on the phone with people that didn't already know they wanted to work with me was just a waste of time, because I want my clients to be people that are like, I want to work with Taylor. I've done this and that with her. I trust her. I do not want clients that are going to be like, I can't believe I paid you so much money. It's been 2 days. I'm getting no results. I'm so scared. Did I do the wrong thing? I want clients who are like, I trust Taylor. I know she can help me with this. Blah, blah, blah. We're good to go. And I have had clients pay me $10,000 for one-on-one coaching that I never talked to before on the phone. I don't always suggest that, but because I built a community, you know, they know me, I know them, kind of. It's okay, right? It's worked out well for me, but I do understand the point of it is risky to sign anybody and everyone into your one-on-one program without talking to them for sure. Okay. I can answer more on that too if you have more questions. It's totally fine. Let's make sure that our carpet's okay. Okay. Number 10, how many hot leads do you need? Here is the part that might make some of you cringe, but I really like it. This is not always right, okay? It's not always right, but it is a really great way to set yourself up for success. And I do think that one reason people don't hit their launch goals is because they just don't have enough people, or they don't have the right people, or whatever, right? On your list, in your community, in your following. If you don't have people seeing your stuff, you don't have people that are going to buy from you, okay? You need hot leads. What this means is the people watching your live streams, the people on your email list, the people watching your webinars. You need hot leads. You just do, okay? These numbers that I'm going to give you are things, and I'll type them out on this sheet that I'm going to give you guys in a second, are numbers that I heard from others. I don't know if they're right. When I've done my launches, they've been accurate, and for some of my clients, they've been accurate too. So they've averaged out to be pretty accurate. You can convert, and I'll explain what this means because some people are like, what does that mean? You can convert way higher than this. You can also convert way lower, and I'll give you some examples of this as well. Basically, for a typical program, you're going to convert, what people say and what I've seen to be pretty accurate is 1 to 5%. If it's something that's like in the 4-figure investment level, like coaching, like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, 1% is pretty accurate, right? If it's something that's like $27 to $100, 5% is more accurate. So for a 4-figure investment, I'm going to type this out. Okay. Some people really hate this, but it's true. If you want to do your launch this way, if you want to pick some strategies, if you want to show up, give content, and sell, you're going to need hot leads. You have to master list building. You have to get people on your webinars. You have to figure out what people want. If you cannot get people in the door for free, your program's not going to sell. It's just there's something off with your messaging. So you may need more help here. You may have this in the bag. Here's how you figure this out, okay? Calculator app. Restart it at 0. Let me close this notification out. Okay. I have these numbers. I just was talking to a client, so I'll just use these. Said client wants to sign 20 people into group program, okay? Assuming it's going to be about $600 a month. So 1% conversion rate she should have in the bag, okay? So if you have 2,000 people on your email list and you convert it 1%, that's 20 people. So her list building goal for August, because she's going to launch in September, is 2,000 people. And she's starting with like 300 people on her list. So she's starting almost from scratch, right? That's really, really cool. That's a way to be a little bit more strategic and a little bit more purposeful in your business. Then what you need to do, and you have to commit to this, and I sometimes don't, but you have to commit to this. And when I do, it's been really beneficial, but you have to commit to looking back at your webinars, looking back at your emails, looking back at whatever, and seeing how it converted. How many people watched it? How many people bought it? What percentage of people who watched bought? Okay? So she's growing her list by 2,000 people. She's going to convert it 1% probably. We'll see. We're going to have to reevaluate. We cannot predict the future. It sucks. Well, it's kind of funny because maybe she could. I don't know. But you get what I mean? Our conversion rate's making sense because for some people it can be really confusing, and I don't blame you. It took me a while to do it too. Good question, Amanda. We'll talk about that. So this can be disappointing to people because they're like, damn it, Taylor. And this is why I really wanted you to watch day one. Because I can be like, damn it, Taylor, like, I can't grow my list by 2,000 people by next week so I can have this big launch. So I think there's a couple things here. One, you can convert higher than this. I have people all the time who blow my mind. They have lists of 300 people and they get 20 people into a program. I have a client who originally launched her business with a course and she had like a couple hundred people on her list and sold tons of spots in this course. There's plenty of people who don't have a list at all that are signing coaching clients right from their friends list. So this is not actually fact. This is not fact. That's why I want to tell you, step 10 is not fact. Step 10 is a way to feel really, really, really like solid. Because it's like if you do have 2,000 people on your list, you 100% in the bag can get 20 clients. Now, if you have less, you can, but it's going to take a lot of focus and maybe more outreach, definitely more outreach. Maybe you have even more qualified leads, right? It's just, do you guys get what I'm saying? It's not a fact. These conversion rates are not fact, but they are really a smart way to run your business. And you can skip over this if you'd like, but preparing for a launch is 90% of the launch. You know? And when you're in the beginning of your business, here's the cool thing is that the next person, any point in your business, the next person who joins your list could be a $10,000 client. The next person who builds your list could buy the course. The next person who joins your list could buy the group program, which is really cool. So you have to be on, what I found is that I'm on both sides of the fence. I don't think you need to have 2,000 people on your list to fill 20 people in a group program. I've seen it done so many times where people should not have, like there should have been no way possible they could have done it and they did, including myself in the past. But then at the same time, where I'm going with my business, I want to be smart about it. And I do know that over time, this becomes more and more accurate, right? Hopefully this is making sense. I know this can be like a harder one to like wrap your head around, but I just want to show you, strategically speaking, how it looks. Amanda says, I have no list, pretty much no following, and the course we're launching is $9.97 for the beta. I plan to run ads and do a webinar, but also have a self-liquidating offer to make back some of my ad spend. Yes, I love it. So the other Amanda asks, how do we build an email list quickly? So this is a whole nother topic in itself, but here's what's really cool. During your launch, if you do webinars or a challenge or a masterclass, or you run ads, or you promote a freebie of some sort, you can build your list. You can build your list as quick as you want. I grew my Facebook group by 1,000 people in 48 hours, right? When I was a newbie. And how did I do that? I created a freebie. I was so stupid. I created a spreadsheet on how to plan your content. I promoted it. It went viral, right? It was a little bit of luck, yeah. Was it a little bit of strategy too? Yeah. Laura, I love you. I love what you just said. That's like my favorite. Yeah, that's what I tell myself all the time. The worst case is you set your goal, you go balls to the wall, and you might not hit your goal, but you'll make more money than you would have without. Like I said yesterday, the biggest reason is just you're not even doing the work, or you have all these excuses, you're chickening out, you're freaking yourself out. Like, you just have to do it. And eventually, like in a year or two or sooner, you can be having $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 months, right? I signed my first coaching client in January. I had my first $20,000 month, January of 2016. I had my first $20,000 month in October. By December, I was having $40,000 months. In January of this year, I had an $80,000 month / launch in sales, $59,000 cash. I had another $50,000 month last month, cash. It's just like you can do some really cool things, but you have to start where you're at. So darn it. You have no list. Amanda, I swear I'm not talking to you. You have no list. Darn it. You have a smaller launch. 3 months later, you have a little bit bigger of a list. darn it, you only have a $10,000 or $20,000 launch. 1 year later, your list still isn't that big, but it's been growing every month. You fall short of your 6-figure goal and you have an $80,000 launch. Like, that's my life. That's what my business has been. And I wish at the beginning I would have realized, like, Taylor, all this disappointment is a little bit of reality and it's okay. And one thing that I've always told myself, that in the beginning, my coach made me tell myself this, and she would always start the sessions out telling me this, but like, it's so true now when I look back, everything that you're doing right now is working out for you, and it is going to show up today. It is going to show up next week. It's going to show up 90 days from now. It's going to show up a year from now. You know what I mean? Like, what I has catapulted my business now. If I would not have shown up like I did in July of 2016, even though I fell short of goals then, I would not be able to hit the goals that I'm hitting now. And even the goals that I'm falling short on now, next year, when I'm making 500 grand a year or $1 million a year or wherever I end up at, it's because of what I'm doing today, not because of what I'm doing next year. You know what I mean? Both. I don't know because I'm not there yet, but you know what I mean? It's really, really true. So if you're getting a little bit like upset about number 10 and this conversion rate thing, get over it. It's fine. It's just reality, but it's also not a fact. And so be a badass, be bold. People are always like, Taylor, how do you go out there and say that you're going to fill that program and like you have 20 spots and they're going to fill out? I'm like, I just do it. I just tell people. Another quick tip that I do that I didn't include in here is I do marketing mindset. So what I do is I like to tell you guys my goals. Like I just did in here. I told you, it's like literally written right here on this whiteboard. I want to sign 17 people into the Unleashed Mastermind at this price. It'll make this much money. I'm really excited about it. That's my goal. I don't actually know if I'm going to hit it. I think I'm going to hit it. It feels really realistic. It's already happening. People are already signing up. But like, I don't actually know. I can't actually tell the future. I have totally the numbers to do it, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Whatever, right? But by saying that and just being confident in it and sharing it, now, I mean, it's so interesting how people put so much trust in you when you declare what you're going to do and you say it confidently and boldly. And then you're like, oh yeah, I am going to do that because I just told everyone I'm going to do it. It's just a fun thing to do. And then when you make a fool of yourself, you're like, hey, I didn't hit my goal. It's okay. Or you don't tell. It doesn't matter. You just don't lie, right? It's like, whatever. I just had something really good I wanted to say. Uh-oh. Are we okay now? Are we okay? Are we okay now? Can you hear me now? It's just skipping. We'll just give it a second to catch up. I think it'll be okay. Because I don't have any signal things popping up. Skipping. Let's just give it a minute, and then if not, I'll restart. This is good. Now it's like a lot of, ooh, 2 people on. Maybe you guys are going to come back. No? Should I restart? I'll restart. I don't want to restart, but I will. Day 2. Darn it. Okay. Okay, it's not working. I'm just like waiting for that person to be like, no, it's totally fine. And I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to restart it. I don't want to, but I will. All right, I am going to start another live, part 2, okay? So if you're on the replay, part 2. If you're on now live, go look for